Okay, welcome back once again. Finally got the camera back, or tablet back where I used to have it, so I can record. So now I figure probably a good time to just give this a bit of a spin. This would have to be my best hole, I reckon, only because I mean I could lift this straight off here if I really wanted to. Bugger it, I might just give this a whirl since I've finally got systems back the way we want it. So yeah, see how we go. There we go. I don't know what I'm worried about, it's solid timber almost. But that's it. So I've actually got a question for Sir Nigel. If you had a hole like this and you had to do the second layer of planking, which is the outer plates, and yeah, there goes one plank. Where would you start? Alright, I'm going to put this thing down before I break it, and yeah. So, here we go. Line this puppy back up. Gotta be close. Pop. Always pop. Alright, cool. Backwards. So yeah, because I've got all this another layer of planking that's got to go on at certain points, which gives you your stepped and your hull plating, but the stern's blank. So yeah, wherever you'd go with that, Nige. If I just literally copy what you were going to do in styrene and do it in the thin timber, well, that's what I was thinking. But yeah, if you happen to see this, give us a QE. If not, I'll drop you a line anyway and I'll ask you. Alright, well, yeah, when I've got more, I'll add it to it. Alright guys, later. Righto guys, well, I've hit the well, it's referred to in the building industry, boat building industry, as the whiskey plank. So I've just gone and basically put the whiskey plank in, but it wasn't so much of a plank, more a steeler. But yeah, anyway, for me it was a whiskey plank, so I'm going to stick with that. So I'm going to clean up and we'll have a good look at it. So I'll be back soon, guys. Okay guys, we're in wobbly mode, but here we go. The girls are side by side. And right, now what I wanted to show was I've actually planked this hole different to how the plans call for it to be done. So the plans called for the planking aft of this frame here was everything was to be butt joined together. Well, I've done it totally different, because if I show you on the Titanic, anyway, you can see that big lovely seam there. Well, that is really hard to get rid of. So to negate that, I've planked a fully at both ends. So rigidity wise, it'll also make for a much sturdier hull. Okay, now I know I said that, you know, it's my best hull so far, and you know what, it is my best hull, but it's not until you start giving them a rub back and apply a few bits of filler that you actually see how bad they are. So If this was a hull that was to be stained, I would have taken a lot more time and, really fussed around. Like, you could spend up to half an hour per plank just getting them squared up and getting them all good. But basically, I just got them to a reasonable state on the sides of the hull. On the bottom of the hull, or on the keel, you can see that looks like a dog's breakfast, because it is a dog's breakfast, because I ran out. I've literally used all my good spare timber stock that I had, hence why you might notice that top half of the hull's light and bottom half of the hull's dark. Yeah, I was kind of giggling to myself because it almost looks like a waterline. She actually looks nice from a distance, but anyway, that's besides the point. I'm waffling. Yeah, so actually, yeah, that's what I wanted to show you. A lot of build methods. They say, when you're planking, to take them right out to the end. You feather them out to a real fine point. And what I've noticed over time is, if you don't get them Mickey Mouse spot on, the planks will peel back. So what I've done is I've used Harry Houdini's method, and I've basically, it's hard to explain, but they're kind of notched into each other. I mean, if you could see clearly, you can see, yeah, bow's not too good. The stern's got a couple of good ones. It shows up really nicely, actually. So here, I'll just hover, and there we go. So, yeah. And that's something else with the stern I've done too. Is another technique where that section you can see there, if I can just get everything squared up, that section there is actually, I'll show you exactly what that is, because the planking comes in, and that's as smooth as Jaguar's paintwork. I swear to God, I've not Frenched, but rabbited it in really well. But yeah, that is, if I flip it over, the other side of that. That's what you're actually seeing there. Is I've actually basically notched the planking into that. So yeah, you can see this side here, there's a few little gaps, but not too bad. It's come up alright. I've got a pic actually of how this hull used to look before I stripped it all back. But yeah, I am. Oh God, she's got a beautiful curve on the bilge. But yeah, she's got some lovely shape. I'll pause and I'll see if we can get a nice profile. Alright, this ain't going to be the best, but if I get it around right. Sorry for the wobbliness, but Jeff, I'm sure you'll get over it, mate. A couple of drinks, you won't even notice. But yeah, she's got some lovely curves. Hey Goof, what are you doing? Say good day. Yeah, see ya. But yeah, alright, I reckon I've waffled on enough. I am now going to make a serious mess. But something I have been working on, I was working on until I started on this other hole, because I wanted to build. I was getting frustrated with just, but I mean, you'll see how just that is so big, fat and chunky. Well, I did some calculations. You'll have to excuse me. I'm going to move around past my homemade light stand. It's a desk lamp attached to a old microphone stand. Works lovely. But this one here, oh yeah, Goof, I've actually slimmed that right down. I mean, if you look right at the base there, it's a lot wider, sorry. That there is actually more to scale. That section of the center prop guard, which I've lost count how many times I've actually snapped that off. It's just, I ended up putting a big bright orange clamp on it so I could see it. But yeah, so I've waffled on so much, you know what? I'm going to go and yeah, I've got to do all of this now. After I sand it perfectly smooth, I start on that and put the raised planking on, made out of that material there. So that'll be the next, I'd say, probably 2 weeks. Then I should have Titanic sister to a similar state as this. And yeah, actually, you know what? I'm going to do one more thing and then I'll let you go. Hold on. Alright guys, here you go. The 2 girls side by side. Now, I have not yet given a name of this one because I mean, it's going to come to a point where you're going to go, well, it's obvious what you're building now. Now, it is an Olympic class liner. The only secret I will give is a hull number, which was on the slip, which is 433. So, and you astute among, so you might notice something different. But anyway, besides the fact that the middle deck section's missing, but that's alright, because I modified her in a few ways, which means I had to borrow materials, but I've got enough to finish. So, yeah. Anyway, there's the girls, side by side. Now, another clue, these girls were not actually side by side in the shipyard. So, I've pretty much given it away. Those that know will know, and those that don't, you got enough to figure out who she is. Alright guys, I've got a lot of work to do. Alrighty, see yous.
You're leaving again. Now hear this. Late before the mast, all 8 o'clock reports. Dark and ship. The smoky lamp is out on all weather decks.